Hi, if you're watching this, that means you are probably researching or thinking about considering getting your Tennessee building contractor's license. My name is Michael Bourgeois. I am an instructor for a company called One Exam Prep, and One Exam Prep is an exam prep company, as you probably could have guessed, but it's specifically for construction trades, trade exams, business and finance exams. So the class we're talking about today is the Tennessee Building Contractors class. There's a few different license types in Tennessee. So whichever one you're after, the one exam prep can help you out. There's a residential contractor, which is a BCA, which is single family homes and multifamily up to 4 units. There's small commercial contractor, which is BC lowercase b. That's commercial projects less than 3 stories. There's commercial contractor BC capital B, and that's larger scale commercial projects. And there's industrial contractor, which is BCC, which is larger scale industrial projects like manufacturing plants, things like that. Let's talk about what the class is not. The class is not to teach you the trade. You know the trade. You've been in this trade for years if you're going for a license. Or maybe you haven't been in it for years, but you're looking into getting a license and trying to find out what it takes. Well, it takes years of experience to get a trade license. So in this class, it's not about teaching you the trade. You learn that out in the field. This class is going to teach you the most effective proven methods to pass the exam, the trade exam. It's a it's a big exam. It's an open book exam, which a lot of people think means it's easier, when in fact an open book exam means it's more challenging. Otherwise, you wouldn't need an open book. Some of the books, for example, I've got it right in front of me here. This is Carpentry and Building Construction. Look how thick that book is. Um, so that's just one of the books. I've got a few more of the books here. This is Roofing, Construction, and Estimating. That's not exactly a thin book right there. Here's your here's your International Building Code book, right? That's the building code book. Um, that's big, and the font is, you know, it's not big font with a lot of pictures. We'll just say it like that. And then this is your OSHA code book, right? This is OSHA. Um, how many people have ever even opened this book that that work in the skilled trades? I know I've been in construction my entire adult life. I hold a couple of contractors licenses myself, and until it was time to study for the contractors exams, I had never opened the OSHA manual, code book, whatever you want to call it. I'd never opened it before. I'd never really needed to. I'd cracked the building code books open a couple of times, just wanting to see, how something, what the minimum was or the maximum was on certain things. But I'd never seen this book before, Roofing, Construction, and Estimating. I'd never seen this book before, Carpentry and Building Construction. Didn't even know they existed. Yet that's what the test, that's the information that is on the test, right? It's from these books. So the questions on the test are from these books and more. So here, just take a look at these. This is four of the books that you'll bring with you into the exam. Four of them out of however many. There's a list, I think, on our website, oneexamprep.com. There's a list of the books that you need. It's public information too. You could Google it and you could find this out. So another thing that we're not going to do in this class is um, try to teach you how to memorize all the information in these books. That's crazy. You saw that stack of books. It's nuts. I have a ruler right here. This stack of books is here's the top of this book. You can see. So the stack of this is 9 inches high. And that's only four of the books. So we're not going to try to teach you how to memorize all the information in these books. What we're going to do is we're going to show you the fastest, most efficient way to find the answers in the books. It's all about navigating the books to find the answers. It's all about knowing, it's all about being able to read the question, determine which book the question is from, and then being able to find the answer, to know the book just well enough to find the answers in the books. Some books have indexes that you use as a reference. Some books don't. Some books only have a table of contents that you use as a reference. Some books have a glossary. Some books don't. There's multiple code books. So you might have a code question, but which code book is it from? Uh, this book right here, Carpentry and Building Construction. It's got uh, there is a primary focus on carpentry in this book, but it's carpentry and building construction regarding all aspects of building construction. So this book here, roofing construction and estimating, it's about roofing, but it's about the construction of roofing. It's about roofing construction. So there's overlap in these books as far as content goes. So there's similar content within these books, but it's not the same content within these books. And so you may read a question that involves the construction of a roof, and it might be in this book, and it might be in this book. So part of the class is knowing how to tell the difference between which book to find the information. These are timed exams, so you have a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes. For most of these exams, you have about 3 minutes, maybe a little over that, per question. If you take the total amount of time you have to take the exam and you take the number of questions, it works out to be a little over 3 minutes per question in most cases. Some exams are a little tougher. It's just under 3 minutes per question. Um, Regardless, can you imagine, you know, thinking that the question is from this book and you spend 3 minutes only to say, okay, well, I couldn't find the answer anywhere in the book, so it must not be in there. So then you switch to this book and you spend 3 minutes to find the answer, and you find the answer, but that was 6 minutes when you only have 3 minutes per question. Do that 10 times, and you've just cost yourself 30 minutes on a timed exam. That's huge. Do it 20 times and just cost yourself an hour. So you need to know how to identify from the question which book the question is from. And then after that, you need to know how to navigate each book individually, because they're not all the same. They're not all written the same. They're not all designed the same way. They don't all flow the same. You wouldn't, some have an index, some don't. So if you find a keyword in a question, if you have a book without an index, what are you going to do? How are you going to navigate that? So there's a lot to it, and I feel like one exam prep has pretty much cracked the code. I'm a one exam prep student. My introduction to one exam prep was as a aspiring contractors. After spending years in many different trades, I was finally ready to get my own license. And so my introduction to one exam prep was as someone just like yourself looking into it, trying to decide what company to go with. I ordered the books tabbed and highlighted, which I highly, highly recommend. It's worth every penny. I've ordered the books tabbed and highlighted, and I've ordered the books. I've received the books without being tabbed and highlighted. So I've done both, and I can tell you from experience on both sides, it is worth every penny to order the books tabbed and highlighted. So that's just a tip there. So one exam prep takes care of that for you. They'll mail you the books, and then your class begins. If the specific class we're talking about is an 8-week cycle to get through most of the books, because there's so many books to cover. If that's not if that's too long for you, then you can book private tutoring. That's what I did. I hold multiple licenses now at this point, and for every license that I was taking a class, I took multiple tutoring sessions, and I was able to register for class, take the tutoring sessions, attend a few classes, and then go and pass the test in a fraction of the time that it takes some other people. So uh, check us out. Check out One Exam Prep. It doesn't cost anything just to jump on the website and scroll around. You could even set up a consultation. Those are free as well. And find out if it's for you. Find out if you're ready to go ahead and move forward. Um, I know there's a friend of mine. I kind of I don't say his name, but I use this story a lot. He spent about 10 years studying to become a roofing contractor. He's a great guy, really, really great guy, a veteran, family man, just shirt off his back for you if you need anything type of guy. But he didn't take any classes. He didn't get any tutoring or coaching of any kind. And for me, I was always taught don't do anything for the first time without getting some coaching, without getting some guidance. So very, two very opposite mindsets. Him, he just ordered the books and tried to study and went in and failed the test. And he did this over and over and over again for 10 years. So he's always having to pay a qualifier. I mean, it cost him a fortune in lost revenue, just spending all this time trying to, take the test over and over and over again. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be in that situation. You want to pass your exam in as few attempts as possible. And the way you do that is with some guidance, some coaching. You learn from people who have been there, done that, and cracked the code, so to speak, on the best methods for preparing for these exams. And that's where One Exam Prep comes in. So again, my name is Michael Bourgeois. I would likely be your instructor for this course. So jump on the website, give us a call, and I hope to see you in class.